What's going on, everyone? Levi here with Foxbridge Slabs. So in today's video, what I'm going to show you is a very simple first cut method with Alaskan mills using a 2x10. You see a lot of people using ladders. There's a lot of different ways to do it, especially with shorter logs. I found that using a 2x10 is by far the most simple method. Before we get into today's video, if you have not yet subscribed, please subscribe to my channel. If you found this video helpful, if you enjoyed watching this video, if you were entertained by it, hit that like button. I will be cranking out as many milling videos as I possibly can, both for entertainment value and also just helping you guys be better at chainsaw milling. All right, guys, so here is the log that we're gonna mill right now. This is a black walnut log, about 42 inches long, 16-inch diameter, give or take. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna place this 2x10 on top of the log, and we're gonna look down it to make sure that the majority of the board is touching the log, or at least we have some areas that are touching the log on both ends. We wanna make sure that we can screw it down so that it's sturdy. So the first thing we're gonna do is we're gonna look down. I see that it's touching the log here. I see that it's touching the log about here. So these are gonna be my two main anchor points right here where the log is touching. So let's do that. I'm gonna start with the screw here. Okay, you don't wanna drive it in too far. You wanna make sure that your mill is set deeper than how far down the screws go. So these are 2.5 inch thick screws. I have my mill set to 3 inches thick. We should be good. Okay, that's pretty sturdy. We're gonna do 2 more screws right here. All right. It's a little wobbly. So when it's a little wobbly, a few things you can do. You can take your chainsaw and you can, a different chainsaw if you have one, and you can cut some flat parts on the log. If you don't have another chainsaw, you can take some wedges and shove them in there. You have to find some spaces where there's gaps, and that's gonna really shore things up and make sure that it doesn't wobble as much. Okay, that helped a ton. There's still a little wobble there. It's pretty secure. So we're gonna go ahead and make our first cut. We're gonna try to keep the chainsaw as stable as possible, and we'll see how it turns out. What I'm gonna do is I'm gonna keep it so that it's a little bit wobbly, and I'm gonna show you what you need to do if you don't have a perfectly flat cut. I'm guessing with the little bit of wobble there is, it's not gonna be a perfectly flat cut. So that's gonna be the next step, is I'm gonna show you what to do if you don't have a perfectly flat cut. Stay tuned. So we got our first cut with our Stihl MS 362. Went overall very well. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna take the board off. We're gonna look at how flat the first cut is, and then all we need to do, if it's not super flat, we're just gonna put the board back on. We're gonna shim it so that the board doesn't rock in the gaps, and you're gonna notice that once you shim it this next time around, it's gonna be perfectly solid, not going anywhere, and you'll have a nice board to work with. All right, we're gonna take the board down, grab the shims. Shims are incredibly easy to lose. Started with 4, I have 4, that's good. It's a little twist in it. It's a little twist here and a little twist here. No big deal. We're just gonna put these right there for now. Now when I'm milling and not purposely making content like this, I do take a lot more time to get the first cut perfect so I don't have to screw around with it. But I do know that even when you take the time, it still happens. And so I wanted to show you guys, again, what to do if that first cut is not perfect. The reason that you want to get the first cut perfect, so you're gonna notice it's a little twist right there. And if you were to start ripping with that twist in there, your boards, every single board from there is gonna be twisted. So your first cut is by far the most important cut to make. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna take my drill. I don't need all of these screws. I'm gonna start with just 2 screws and see where it goes. So the first thing that I'm gonna do is figure out which side I want to screw to, and we're pretty flat over here. So I'm gonna take this screw out and I'm gonna put a screw right here. Okay, so there's a little bit of a wiggle right there. I'm gonna take one of these shims and I'm just gonna shove it in here. I don't want it to move up at all. Now it's solid. I'm gonna take another screw. Let's just take this one. Want to make sure that shim doesn't go anywhere, so I'm gonna try to put a screw in here. To really suck that down. Okay, that shim is a lot tighter. I know it's probably not gonna go anywhere. It's flat right here. So now what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna look at my gaps over here. I've got a gap on this side. That makes sense because the weight of the power head is over here and you tend to want to move it towards the weight of the power head. So now what I'm gonna do is put a screw here. Alright guys, let's see how it looks. Gorgeous wood, nice smooth finish, and that is pretty straight. For this log, because it is about 16 inches wide, we're gonna go at 2 inches thick, and you're gonna see that the 661 is much faster than the 362. All right, everyone, very, very simple to adjust this mill. You just have 2 bolts right here. You loosen it. There's a gauge over here. It's set to 1.5 inches. I just need to move it up 1/2 inch. And This gauge is pretty true to what it says it is. If you're at 2 inches, your slabs are going to be about 2 inches thick. So let's adjust it and get it started, get it warmed up. And let's start ripping some slabs. I'm not too particular as far as if it's exactly on the 2-inch thick line. I just want to get it close to what I'm after within a 32nd of an inch, and it's easily there within a 32nd. There we go. We're going to get this thing started up, get the earplugs in, let it warm up for just a bit. right, guys, we got 5 2-inch thick slabs, about 42 inches long. Really, really cool figuring in a couple of these. Love those grains. So 5 that are 2 inches thick, 1 that is mostly 1.5 inches thick all the way through. I'll be able to do something with it. Customer will be able to do something with it. Overall, really, really happy with how this log turned out. That G77 small mill is an excellent way to go if you are looking for just milling some small logs. It doesn't matter the length, you know, smaller diameter, 8-inch diameter to maybe 15, 16-inch diameter. Really, really good way to go. Really economical way to go. If you guys have any questions, feel free to comment. Let me know. I'm happy to help out. Love helping people learn how to chainsaw mill. If you are in the western Wisconsin area and you're looking for slabs, you're looking for a slab supplier, hit me up. I've got slabs, a lot of different species. Subscribe to my channel. I'm going to be cranking out as many milling videos as I possibly can. As always, thanks for watching, thanks for subscribing, and I'll see you guys next video.